Hey everybody, Tony D and little Joan under the blanket. It's cold today. Rainy. Gross. But speaking of gross, the Hunter Biden scandal continues. Not a major update today. More of an interesting wrinkle. Second Hunter Biden laptop seized by DEA. A second laptop belonging to Hunter Biden, son of former VP Joe Biden, was reportedly seized in February during a raid on a psychiatrist by the DEA. Hunter Biden was reportedly not the target of the raid. So, reading this from Breitbart, Daily Mail is reporting it too. It looks like the DEA raided this psychiatrist office. Now, if it's the DEA, obviously it must have something to do with drugs, the raid. And they, when you raid a place, they take stuff for evidence, and it looks like they scooped up this laptop. For some reason, no one knows why, Hunter Biden left his laptop at this psychiatrist's office. Now, speculating, you could imagine the psychiatrist must have been treating Hunter Biden at some point. Now, the psychiatrist, and this is in Massachusetts, his Massachusetts office, was accused of professional misconduct, but he hasn't been charged with a crime. I believe psychiatrists, they are allowed to prescribe drugs, and since it's the DEA, it probably has something to do with drugs, but not necessarily Hunter Biden's drugs. I mean, he was a crackhead, allegedly. So it's not like his psychiatrist is going to be a hookup for crack, I don't think. But possibly other drugs. I mean, who knows? Certainly, Hunter had a lot of issues and seemed to be depressed. So I would guess that the psychiatrist was probably treating him and prescribing him stuff for depression. So it's quite possible that this has nothing to do with Hunter, and Hunter just left his laptop at the office, at the psychiatrist's office. And you might say, well, how does that happen? I would never do that. I was thinking about it, and I came to this conclusion. So, like, Hunter's rich, and there's a lot of rich people, and they are used to having servants, right? And what are servants really? They're really time savers, You have servants to, like, clean your house and cook your food and run errands because you're the busy rich guy, and that's exactly what you want your life to be. You want to remove all that tedium, so you hire somebody to do all that tedious crap you don't want to do. I got to go get my car gassed up. Here's the keys. Go gas up my car so I don't have to do it tomorrow morning. Like, stuff like that. That's what I would, that's what I would do if I had a, assistant or whatever. Like, you would come into your house, right? Throw your jacket on the couch, throw your stuff on the nearest table, and then just shoot right into the bathroom, grab a shower. Meanwhile, your servants are, like, putting all that stuff away for you. They put your computer in your office. They put your jacket in the closet. They make your dinner, and then you come out of the shower all refreshed. You sit right down, eat your dinner. You're done. You leave the plates and everything. You go right into your office and start working. See how much time that saves you? It saves you, probably saves you a good hour when you look at it. So the reason Hunter Biden, or a guy like him, would leave something as important as a laptop is he's used to people just taking care of stuff, right? So he comes into the psychiatrist's office and puts his jacket on a couch, throws his laptop on the nearest table, doesn't even think about it. Now he has all this big session, gets all, maybe upset because it could be pretty intense being in a psychiatrist's office. Maybe he left all that stuff in the other room, and the secretary, put the jacket in the closet, put the laptop in a place where he could get it. And then when Hunter's leaving, he's in a big hurry. He just grabs his jacket and heads out the door. Now, when the DEA scooped this up, essentially, excuse me, they're executing a search warrant for the psychiatrist. So they're not looking for Hunter Biden stuff necessarily. And in fact, his lawyer got the laptop back. And that's something a rich guy's lawyer would do, right? Hunter's not being indicted. And keep in mind that search warrants can be very narrow. If they didn't have on that list of things that they were searching for, things like a laptop pertaining to the crimes they were investigating, that may not be relevant. They had no reason to even look at it once they discovered it wasn't the psychiatrist's laptop. So they gave it back to Hunter. Why wouldn't they? They have no reason to search through it. They have no reason to suspect him of the crime. They weren't investigating him. But it's just interesting, assuming this report is all true, and I think it is, that Hunter left the laptop again someplace. Now, I'm not sure this is the same one. They're saying second. This happened in February of 19, and I think the computer was left in the repair place after that. If not, that would mean that Hunter's really irresponsible. I mean, to leave a laptop with all this important information everywhere twice, that we know of. I mean, are we going to find more laptops? I mean, check your closet, everybody. Apparently, if Hunter Biden's been at your house, he's probably left a laptop or two behind. And by the way, here's the Daily Mail article on the same thing. Yeah, second. Now this says Office of Celebrity Psychiatrist Keith Abloh. Celebrity psychiatrist. So you could see why a big millionaire like Hunter Biden would go to a celebrity psychiatrist, because these guys are, here he is here, seized in February. But I think it is a second laptop simply because I think his lawyer probably had to do quite a song and dance to get the laptop back, because even normal people, it would be impossible to get the laptop back until the investigation was over and the FBI was 100% sure the laptop had nothing to do with that. But, Hunter, being a lawyer himself and having tons of connections to lawyers, I assume, could have his lawyer get it back. So, just an interesting wrinkle in this ongoing saga of the laptop. And still, where's the investigation? Who knows? The FBI did have an investigation into money laundering, and that could be why all this is still just hanging in limbo. It's because the FBI is not ready with the money laundering investigation, and now that this all split open, now they got to investigate that, and it takes a long time. It's going to take weeks and weeks and months. They don't want to rush it, especially investigating a guy connected as like him. They got to have everything perfect, like everything. They got to have triple the amount of things, because they know if they don't go into court with the charges and a mountain of evidence, so Hunter's lawyers just goes, oh man, they got you. There's very little we could do here. You're got. They will fight tooth and nail and keep them tied up in courts for months to get Hunter out. That's what rich guys do. They press with their lawyers. So I don't know what's going to happen with this, but it's still a scandal that very little of the mainstream media is talking about. I hope we're going to hear more soon. I mean, Tucker covered some of it, even though he did put out this bizarre monologue kind of defending Hunter Biden recently. But we're going to see. We're going to see in the coming weeks, especially if Biden is elected. Oh, you can expect the Republicans to step on that gas pedal and say, we're going to impeach you. But I think at that point, Biden will just step down and he'll have a medical incident, and it'll all be Kamala and then swept under the rug.